Hey mamas, welcome to day 5 of the Postpartum Ab Challenge. So make sure you've done days 1 through 4. That set the stage for today's workout, in which we're going to be doing core stability. And what that means is we're going to do some unstable movements to cause the core to react and get stronger with movement. So we're going to begin in a hands and knees, quadruped position, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, diaphragmatic breath in and out, drawing the navel in and up, letting the lower, mid, upper abs engage and ribs come down. Starting with a bird dog. One arm and leg opposite, lifting and then lowering back down. Switch sides. So opposite arm and leg goes to hip level, arm goes to shoulder height, thumb up and then heel up in the leg. So as you move, you want to do so simultaneously. Focus on control rather than speed. Focus on stability, keeping square hips and shoulders to the mat, keeping the arm in that bottom hand, extended, wrist under shoulder, and again, trying to move just as fluidly as possible through the movement. We're going to keep working on those a little bit later, but for now, we're going to stay in that quadruped position. So hands under shoulders, diaphragmatic breath in and out. We're going to lift the knee, keeping it bent for a hydrant. So you're going to keep the knee slightly off the floor as it comes down, or you can touch it. But what we want to make sure we do is open the hip without shifting our weight. So you're going to lift the leg as high as you can without shifting into the back hip. So if that's here, cool. Maybe that's a little bit higher. Exhale as you lift to engage the deep core and pelvic floor. It's also going to help you maintain that balance, and that means everything is square to the floor. Foot can be flexed or pointed. That doesn't matter so much. Again, the height doesn't matter so much. What matters is that connection with the pelvic floor and core as the leg moves away from the body, and that's going to strengthen that deep core. All right, you can push back onto your hips for a minute. We're going to do that same thing, the hydrant, on the other side. So you can see from this side now what it looks like as I'm lifting that back leg. So you're going to have to shift your weight, but what it's not is, again, leaning or bending or compensating to get that leg up, to open up the hip. And everybody has a little more degree of flexibility in their hips, so don't compare yourself. I'm not super flexible in my hips and one side is better than the other, so you might notice that. Very normal. So again, don't worry so much about the height, or if you hear any like popping or cracking or whatever. But this is great because anytime the leg goes away from the body, we're strengthening, again, hips, glutes, core and pelvic floor, and all of that is connected. And you'll see later in this series, in this challenge, we've got more glute work ahead. Okay, what we're gonna do is a modified bear crawl. So staying in that quadruped position on hands and knees, we're gonna lift, pressing the hands into the floor, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and we're gonna take one leg forward, one leg back, one foot rather. Just rocking forward and back, shoulders rocking forward and back, just slightly. And you can see as I bring the leg forward, I'm not coming here, right? I'm staying low to the floor. Knees are just over the mat, so about an inch off the floor. Now this is going to feel intense, especially because we've done a lot of work so far in that quadruped position. So if you need to, come here, come to the knees, keep the knee on the floor, and just do like a baby bear crawl, right? It's still hard work. You're still working your core, especially when you're doing things that involve the cross slings, those opposite arm and leg movements. So good for coordination, but also so good for the core. All right, knees down. All right, we're gonna move to a forearm plank variation. So we're gonna start this one on the knees. So bring all the way onto your belly, elbows under shoulders, lift the hips up and back to shoulder height. So we're gonna stay here on the knees for today. And what you're gonna do is reach one arm forward at a time. One arm forward at a time. So just tapping the fingertips. Now I want you to think control. It's not tap it as quick as you can and bring it back in, so because you're gonna fall on your face, right? If you feel like you're falling on your face, just do this with me. Push the palm down. Don't take the arm as far away. The further you take it away, the harder it will be. So if I'm really reaching here, my core has to react. Do you see that? So the farther I take it, the harder it will be. So start here, maybe you start to reach a little further forward and then all the way forward. And if that's still too intense, you just come here, you take a rest, you hold your plank, you get back into it. There's lots of different things you can do here. But fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, time's up for today. That was day 5. Again, day 6, got more coming for you. We're gonna continue to build on these movements, and we've almost made it through the first week. So I'll see you guys back here for our next workout.